In our previous sessions, we have seen creation of database table, and we have created this table using top-down approach and bottom-up approach. Like few fields I have created with the bottom-up approach first, then I have created with top-down approach. So we do have one more way to create database tables, that is predefined data type. So already we have seen there are two ways to create a database table. So those are using data element and domain. The other one is using predefined type. So till yesterday, we have used this first way to create a database table. We have created data element, domain, then field. So now we'll see the second way using predefined type. So predefined type is also known as built-in type. So we go to the table and suppose there is a field where it stores the name of a person, like customer name. So here I'm giving the name. Name. So here, instead of data element and domain, I want to use predefined type. Suppose whenever we want to create a table using predefined type, there is a tab here or there is a button built-in type. Click on that. See, it is gray outed. Data element completely gray out. If I write something, it won't be visible there because it is gray out. Without using data element and domain, I'm going to create a table. So manually, here I can enter what is the data type, its length. Instead of creating data element and domain, manually, just I'm giving data type and length. Here I'm not using any data element. Inside the data element, we do have a connection with domain. But right now, it is gray out for this field, C name. Let me do it again. So here, directly I'm giving the data type. So it is a character data type. Take F for help and choose character data type. Suppose name, if I give 30 is a character length, and here short description, name. So like this, we can create few more fields based on the requirement we can create. So this is the built-in type or predefined type. Here I'm not using any data element and domain. But if we don't use data element and domain, with these fields, suppose if I create a table completely with these type of fields, which is using predefined type, then I cannot create a relation between other table if I use built-in type because there is no data element and domain. Without a data element, we cannot create a relation between multiple tables. We do have a few concepts based on the relation between two tables. We can able to join the tables. Like we will be having some scenarios where we need to merge multiple tables. So at that time, we cannot able to join because there is no common field between the two tables. Even though if there is a common field, there is no data element. So that is the reason we don't use predefined data type. And also we do have a concept called search help. Suppose if we create any table without using data element and domain, we cannot create search help also. So due to those issues, we are not using built-in type maximum. 99% we don't use built-in type. We will use data element and domain to create any database table. So once you create it, click on save, check it. So here there is a warning. So if you see anything with yellow color, this is nothing but warning message. So if it is red color, that is error message, which we have seen yesterday for currency field. Now, this type of message, if I place the cursor, see, it is showing warning. So this is warning message. What is saying? Enhancement category for table is missing. So we need to provide enhancement category. Let me go to extras. So to provide the enhancement category, go to extras from the menu bar. So here we have an option enhancement category. Click on that. So here, this enhancement category is nothing but um, like in future, suppose if you want to insert few more fields, if you want to insert few more fields, you need to tell like we need to adjust the table. System has to insert few more fields. Suppose in future there is a requirement where this table can have two more fields, like where user want to see customer address, like address fields like city, country. Suppose if I want to add those, we need to tell the system this must be adjusted. So to provide that information, here we have enhancement category. So here we can be enhance this table either character like or numeric like. Either we can enter character type data or numeric type data. We already know character type data is nothing but like date, time, character, string. Numeric comes under like integer, packed, floating data type. So here we need to select any of the radio button. So maximum will use can be enhanced character like or numeric, or else we can use this one. So if you select this radio button, then in future, if we add any fields, it doesn't give any type of errors. Like system will be adjust those fields. So here we are enhancing the table fields indirectly. So we are increasing the table fields by providing this option. So to go to this option, you need to select extras from the menu bar, then choose the option enhancement category. And from here onward, we can select this. So not classified means we haven't given any instruction to the system. Cannot be enhanced means it cannot be enhanced few more fields. So can be enhanced character like or numeric type means we already know. Just I have explained. We do have two different data types, right? So those fields can be enhanced. Can be enhanced deep means like all the data types can be enhanced. So in that way we can choose and then click on copy. So now save it, check it. No warning now. If you see, there is no warning message. And once you provide these details, we need to provide few more details also. Here we have technical settings. Once you create all the fields in the table, then click on technical settings. Here we have to provide few input. So this is the table description which we have given. Now there are two tabs here, like general properties and DB specific properties. So let's see first one. Here data class is there. So here data class is nothing but we are already providing delivery class at the beginning of table creation. We have given delivery class, if you remember, like which type of data we are storing in this table. And after that, whenever we are saving this table in the database, whenever we are saving this table in the database, we have to specify physically where it has to be saved, either in the master table or transaction table or customizing table. So we need to specify the physical memory area. So that option we can provide with the help of data class. In simple words, suppose in our PC, we will be having different folders to save the file. Suppose if it is a text file or if it is a audio file, we will be having different format like .mp3, .mp4 for video files. So based on the file format, we will be save our files. Suppose if it is an audio file, we will be saving like .mp3. So that will be separate folder. If it is a video file, that format .mp4, we will be saved in a separate folder. Similar way, whenever we are creating a table, that has to be stored physically in the specific place. Either it is based on the master data or transaction data or customizing data. So that is with the help of data class, we can save it. So choose F for help again here. So if you see APPL0 means all master data and transparent data will be saved. APPL1, transaction data, and transparent table. So leave about transparent table. We'll discuss later about this word. APPL2 is nothing but customizing data. So remaining we don't use. We use only first three. If you see remaining, DDIM is there. Dimension tables in BW. So BW is a different module. So this we don't use. So we'll use only first three. So let me select first one. So data class which provides a physical memory space in the database. Size category. So size category is nothing but your table. You have to instruct the system like how many records this table can be stored. So that information we can give with the help of size category. Suppose if I take F for help, see this table can be hold either from 0 to 5200 records or 5200 to 20,000 records. So how many records it has to be stored? That information we can provide with the help of size category. Like how many number of records a table can be stored, that information we can provide with the help of size category. So maximum will give 0 only. So depending on the records, it might be extended. So table internally it can be extended. So initially we used to give 0. If it is master data, if it is having huge amount of data, then we can select depending on the requirement, either 1, 2, 3, like that. So till we have 0 to 9 is there. This is the maximum number to provide the size category. And leave about this table sharing. We don't use this one. Then we have buffering. Okay. So before seeing this buffer terminology, first let's see a simple example. Suppose if you are accessing a file frequently in our PC, so we can get it without going into the actual folder. We can access it with the help of quick access. Suppose you have seen a file recently, and there is a file in the document which you have used recently. And if you want to see again the same file, so you no need to go to the folder document and open it again. We can access the same file within quick access. So that will be saved in quick access. Similar way in SAP, there is a memory space called buffer. So whenever we execute any program or table, first it will go to the database and it will be fetch the data. Then it will be displayed in the output screen or presentation screen. So once we fetch the data from the database, if you provide buffer, that will be saved in buffer memory. So next time, if you want to access the same program or same table, it won't go to the database because it is already saved in the buffer memory. So directly it will be display the data. So instead of going to the database again and again, if you want to see the same program or same table, if you're accessing frequently, that can be saved in buffer memory. So it will be reduce the load on the database. Whenever we execute any program or table, it will take some time to fetch the data from the database. Suppose if you are using same table, same program, then we can save in the buffer memory. It will be reduce our time. So whenever we execute, directly it will be display the data. It won't take much time to load in the database. So that is the reason buffer like whenever we have a huge amount of data, then we can use buffer memory. Other than that, no need to use buffer memory. Suppose if you are accessing a table or program frequently, which is having large amount of data, then it will take maximum amount of time to fetch from the database table. So in that scenario, we can use buffer memory. So it will reduce the load on the database because everyone will be accessing the same database. So whenever we have huge amount of data which we are accessing frequently, then we can use buffer memory. So buffer memory is like a temporary memory which is used to store a certain amount of data. So it will be fetched from the database, then it will be saved in the buffer memory. Suppose if you are using buffer memory, then our execution time will be faster because it won't go to the database. It will be saved in buffer memory itself. So in buffer, we have different options like buffering not allowed. Let me take the pointer. Mm. So buffering not allowed, allowed but switched off and switched on. So if your table is having less amount of data and not accessing frequently, then we don't need to use buffering option. Suppose if you don't want to use this option, we can choose this radio button, first one, not allowed. So the table data won't be saved in the buffer memory. Second option, buffering allowed but switched off. So this option is used by SAP. So only this option will be used by SAP. We don't have access to use this option. Third one is if you want to use buffer option to your table, then we can use the third option. And we have different types of buffers. Like three options are there. If you want to use the last option, you can use. If you don't want to use, you can use the first option. Only these two will be available for us as a custom table. So we have different buffering types are there, like single record buffering or fully buffered, generic area buffer. The single record buffering is nothing but only first or single record can be stored in the buffer. For example, if you see this is a table data, in this table data, first record is there. Suppose if I use single record or single buffering is there. If I use that, then only first record will be saved or single record will be saved. If you don't specify the record number, it will take by default first record. Only this record will be saved in the buffer memory. Suppose if you are using fully buffered, then all the records will be saved. Like how many records are there, those all the records will be saved in the buffer memory. So these all the records will be saved in buffer memory. Single record means it will take single record or first record. Fully buffered means it will be store all the records which are present in the database table. Then we have generic area buffer. So generic area buffer means only key fields data will be stored in the buffer. So whenever we have created a table, we have given key fields. Have you remember key field? Yes. What is mean by key field? Anybody know this one?
To avoid the duplicate data.
Come again?
To avoid the duplicate data.
Yes. Yes. So that will be stored. So those type of data will be stored in this generic area buffer. So which doesn't allow any duplicate record. That is nothing but key field. So those key field data will be stored if you are using this type of buffer, generic area buffer. So if you see buffering, three options are there. And here you can see buffering type is there. So we can specify number of key fields, and if you want to select buffering type like generic area buffer, you can check this box and you can specify how many key fields are there in that. So generally we don't use this one, but if it is a master data, if it is having large amount of data, then only we can use this buffering. Other than that, we don't use this one, buffering. So as of now, I'm skipping this one. Next, we have data changes, log changes are there. So log changes are nothing but whenever we add any data into the database table, or whenever we do any changes into the database table like creation, deletion, or any modification in the database table. So that will be saved in this option, log changes. Suppose if I click on log changes, then whatever we do the changes into the database, that will be stored. If you want to track whatever the changes are happening in the table, then we can use this option, log changes. If you have not selected, then it won't be track anything. So generally we also don't use this option, but if it requires, we can use this one, log changes. So it will track all the changes, whatever we are doing in the database table. Like changes are nothing but if you create any new record, or if you change any existing record, or if you delete any existing record. So those changes will be tracked with the help of log changes option. So this information you can see using SCU3, I believe. Let me check the transaction code. SCU3. Mm, Yes. So you can see the log changes in SCU3 transaction code. You can click on analyzing log changes. Here we can give the table. Suppose if you have checked, you can see the tables, like you can specify the table name in which you have given the log changes, and you can click on execute. So the log changes will be visible. SCU3 is a transaction code to evaluate the log changes. Now let me go to the table. So you need to provide this information mainly, and then if no change are required. So give any reason. It is giving a warning error. Warning error, we can ignore it. Let me try to ignore. Okay. So give any reason, then click on save. Otherwise, it is not allowing to go to the next screen. So in the general properties, we are not checking any log changes. So by default, it will be selected the drop down as not required, but give any reason like no changes are required, like that any meaningful reason you can enter it. Then click on save. So here DB specific properties are that here we are not using any option. By default, this okay. So we are using HANA system. HANA system, like HANA database, it will be save all the records in column storage. So this will discuss later what is mean by column store or row store. So as of now, you can ignore this one. We are not providing any details in this tab. Under the general properties, we have to specify these properties mainly for data class and size category. So once you enter all the details, save it. Check it and come back. So in the table creation, first we have entered all the fields details. After that, we have given the enhancement category. Then under the technical settings, we have given few inputs like how much records it has to be saved in this table. Like that few inputs we have given. After that, save entire table. Check it. No errors. So we can activate the table. Now table is activated. Suppose if I want to see the table data. So if you want to see the table data, here we have an option contents. Click on contents. So these are the fields which I have created. And if I execute, see no table entries found for the specified key, meaning I just created the table like this. like empty table. Just I have given the heading like this, and column headings also I have given. But inside, whatever the content is there, right now I haven't filled these details, like what is the client number, sales order number, when it is created. So this information I haven't specified till now. Just I created an empty table with headings. So to enter these records, we have an option. Go to utilities from the menu bar, and here we have an option, table contents. Under this table contents, we have two options, display and create entries. Right now, this table doesn't contain any entry. So we have to create new entries. So choose the second option to create the entries. So here we can provide the input, like what is the sales order number, creation date, payment mode, amount, what is the currency, and customer name. Suppose sales order number I'm giving one, and creation date. Choose F for help, and we can select the date from here. So I have chosen a date, then payment mode. Suppose C I'm giving like credit, and amount, suppose 1200, and currency key. CUKY is nothing but currency key. So this 1200, either is it in Indian rupees or US amount, whatever the currency key is there, that we need to specify here. Suppose if it is in the form of Indian rupees, I will specify IN. And C name, like customer name. Suppose here ABC I have given, and or else N1. Like name one I have given N1, you can provide any name. Once you fill all these details, click on save. So first record will be saved. Suppose if I come back and if I click on contents, again click on execute, see one record is existed. So like that we can create multiple records. Any doubts still here? Suppose if you want to create few more entries, again you can go to utilities, table contents, click on create new entries. So here you can specify the remaining, and here's 1000 USD, like dollars. So dollars generally it will be saved as USD, and here in two is there. So once you enter all the details, click on save. After that, to create the third entry, click on reset. So it will be vanish. Again, you can enter new details. Once you enter the new details, click on save. Again, to enter the next entry, click on reset. Suppose third record is there. So third record, again I can click on save. And if I want to create one more entry, again click on reset. So this is one way. The other way is directly click on table entries, click on execute. Three entries are there. Suppose if I want to create, see here, there is an option to create again one more entry, or like few more entries. If I click on create, see same screen. It will be navigate to the same screen. So either first record, whenever you are creating first record, you have to go to utilities, like utilities, table contents, create entries. If first record is created, from second record onwards, directly we can execute the table contents, And here we have an option to create again few more entries. So either you can go to this one, or else again you can follow the same um, process like utilities, table contents, create entries. So two ways we can create. And suppose if I want to display a specific sales order numbers instead of displaying all the sales order numbers, if I want to display specific sales order numbers, here I can provide the input. If you see, there is a title bar like data browser, table name, selection screen. So selection screen is nothing but input screen where we can provide the input. I don't want to display all the sales order numbers. Just I want to display 1 to 2. Only sales order number 1 and 2 I want to display. So here low value I have entered 1. In the high input value, like there is a box where I can enter low value. And there is one more box where I can enter high value. So it will be displayed between 1 to 2. So if I click on execute, only 2 records is displaying. Earlier, it was displayed all the records. Right now, it is displaying only 2 records. So if you want to display based on any sales order number or based on your input, if you want to fetch in the table, that is also possible. In the selection screen, you can provide the input, click on execute. You will get the details. Suppose here, if you want to see how many records are exist in the table, then we have an option. If you see here, number of entries are there. So if we click on that entire table, how many records are there, that will be displayed here. See display number of entries. I have created 3 records. It is displaying 3. So this is one of the options. And if you want to see based on the payment mode, suppose if the payment mode is credit, only those sales order numbers I want to see. Then here I can enter payment mode C and click on execute. So with payment mode C, how many records are created, those will be displayed here. So based on the input, if you want to fetch the data, that is also possible. In the input screen or selection screen, you can provide the input. Any doubts? So next we have a concept called structure. So this structure we will use in programming and also tables. So structure is, we already know what it mean by table. So table is nothing but it is a combination of rows and columns where we use different data types and fields. If you see in the table, we have used different data types like customer number, sorry, sales order number, creation date. These data types are not same. Few are same, few are different, right? Similar way, structure is nothing but it is a collection of fields. Table also collection of fields. Structure also collection of fields. But there are few differences between table and structure. So we'll see those differences while creating the structure. But before that, let's see what is meant by structure. So structure is a collection of fields of same data type or different data type. And so even though we have a table, we are using structure because there is a scenario where suppose in a project, imagine that in a project, we need to add address. Like we have a table where customer details we are entering, like customer number, customer name, city, country, region. So there we have to provide address details like city, country, zip code, and what else? Region. So same requirement, I have to add in one more table where delivery details are. There's a table where all the delivery details will be stored. So whenever the delivery is created, it has to save city, country, region, these details as well. Whenever a delivery order is created, so that table also we need to add the address details, and also customer table, I have to add address details. So whenever if I want to add fields into the table, I need to go to the table and I need to create field, data element, and domain. So I need to add same way in two tables. One is, imagine that this is a customer table. So here I need to add four fields data, and there is one more table like delivery details. So in that table also, same fields I need to add. So instead of adding same fields again and again multiple times, we can use structure because it is waste of time. Here we are adding four fields and same kind of fields I'm adding in another table. Suppose here I am telling four fields. Suppose 10 fields are there. I need to add same kind of 10 fields in five tables. Repeatedly, we are adding same thing. So instead of doing like that, we have an option called structure. If you create a structure once, you can add in any number of tables. If we have the same requirement, then we can use the same structure in n number of tables. So we no need to add again and again. So mainly for reusability purpose, we are using structure. The structure is nothing but it is a collection of fields of same data type or different data type. So whenever we have a requirement where we need to add same kind of fields in multiple tables, instead of adding individually in multiple tables, we will create a structure. Only one time we will create a structure. And that structure we will call into multiple tables. So that is the idea of structure. So structure can be reusable. So this structure we can able to create with the help of SC11 transaction code. We already know SC11 transaction code where all the data dictionary objects we are creating, right? So these types we'll see later. First we'll create a structure, then I'll explain the types of structures. So let me keep as is the screen and I'll open SC11 transaction code. Here there is no direct radio button to create structure. So we have a structure in this in this object data type. So choose the radio button data type. If you remember, whenever we have created data element using this data type, there is a pop-up. In that pop-up, we have three options like data element, table type, structure. So with the help of this data type, we can create structure. So first, give the structure name here. Like whenever we have created data element, we have given a name. Similar way, to create a structure, give a name here. And suppose I want to create address details. So let me give Z address and click on create. So see, there is a pop-up. So previously we have created data element. Now choose the radio button structure. Here give the short description like address details. And here under the component, we have to create the field. And here, whatever the fields we want to create, you need to specify in this column. And if you see, there are the same tabs like table. It is similar to table. We have seen attributes tab in the table. And here components are there, but there we will be having fields tab. Input help is there same way. Currency and quantity fields are there in the table. Let me open the table also. So this is the table. So where you can see transparent table at the top, and here this is the structure. You can see the name here, structure. So in table we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs are there. Attribute same, input help check same, currency quantity fields. If you see, same tabs are there. But instead of fields here in the table, we have a tab called fields. Instead of this, here we have components. So that is a difference. And in this screen, there is no table content. If you see, there is no table contents in the structure, meaning structure cannot hold any data. A table can hold data physically. See, this is a table screen and there is an option called contents. If I click on that, if I execute, table entries are there, meaning table can be stored the data. But if you see the structure, there is no option to see the data because structure cannot hold any data. Just it will be create like a template, empty template. For example, so structure is like this. So this is the structure where it will create empty template. But table, which is having the physical data, where the data is existed. This is a table and this is a structure where it doesn't contain any data. So that is the structure. Just it will create a template like this. It doesn't hold any type of data. So here we can provide the field name. Suppose there is a requirement where user want to see delivery number, name, and name already we have given. So we'll give city, country, postal code, delivery number, city, country, postal code. So these four fields data I will add in the structure. Like here, delivery. So field name after here we need to select types. So type ref2 we will be using in object oriented ABAP and structure we will be refer with types keyword. In structure we will be referring the declarative keyword called types. So choose the first one, types, because it is a structure. This structure can be created globally or locally. So globally is nothing but if you create anything in SE11, that will be stored globally in the database so that we can use anywhere in the system. And also we can able to create this structure at the program level in SE38 or SE80. So that is local memory. Local memory in the sense that can be accessible within the program itself. Suppose I have a program name is ZP1. If I create a structure, I can use that structure within the program itself. I cannot use in multiple programs. So that is nothing but local memory. Suppose if I create a structure or table in S11, then that will be stored in the database. I can call into any number of programs. So this structure can be created locally, globally. If you want to create a structure globally, use the transaction code SC11. There is no direct option to create a structure. So choose the radio button data type. So go to SC11, choose the radio button data type. And after that, there will be a pop-up. You can select the structure. So here component type is nothing but which data type. If you have like it is like a data element. Whenever we have created a field in the table level, first we have given the field name, then data element we have given. Similar way, here component type, here you can provide the data element. Hmm, see, sorry. Let me give the same name as a data element and domain. So I'm not specifying DE or DM because you already aware of data element and domain. So just I have given the component type. This is a data element. So I haven't created data element till now. We already know top-down approach, bottom-up approach. So structure can also create with the help of bottom-up approach or top-down approach. So I'll go top-down approach. First I'll create a field after data element. So once you give the data element name, double click on it to create. See, it is not existed. Do you want to create? Yes. So before that, we need to save. Give me a second. My package is GSM Pro. Yeah. Now we are going to create data element. See, this screen is data element. And here I can provide delivery. Delivery number is a short description. And we can give the label first, or else we can assign the domain first. Delivery. Delivery number. And here, so field label I have given. So data element I have created. After data element, I'm going to create domain. So I'll give the same name as data element. And to create domain again, double click on domain. So save it. So same steps, whatever we have done yesterday, similar steps we have to do to create the structure. So here, this is the domain screen. First, to give the short description, like delivery number and data type. So I want numeric data type. You can choose F for help. And I need 10 characters length. So specify the characters length. Then press enter. After that, save it. Check for the syntax errors. Then activate it. Once it is activated, come back and activate data element also. Once data element is activated, come back again. So delivery is created. Next, I want city. So here select the typing method as types because it is a structure. And here, mm, and also whenever we create a structure or any field, if we have any existing fields, we can make use of it. Instead of creating the custom field, we can use the existing one. Existing one is nothing but standard one, which was already created by SAP. Till now, I have created custom fields, but right now I'm going to use the existing field instead of creating which is already exists in the system. I will use the standard one. So for city, we have city. Give me a second. Let me check. Mm, land one. So land one, if you see, there is a data element land one. So this is for country or region. For city, I believe ORT01 is there. Yes. So city, you can see short description is city. So for city, already there is a field in the database. So I can make use of this one instead of creating a new one. Where is the structure? So in this structure, I can use the standard one. ORT01 is a city. For city, I can use the same field. And data element. What is the data element I have seen? ORT01 only. So I'm going to use the standard one. First one is the custom one, which I have created. The component type is Z. But if you see the second one, ORT01 is there. First letter is O. So it is a standard one. If there is a standard field, we can make use of it instead of creating the custom one. So if I press enter, see, automatically these details are filled, character. Under the data type, it is taken character. Length 25. Short description, see, it is city. Similar way, I can use land one. So for land one is nothing but country. So land one country. And if you see domain also created, land one. So same I will use in this structure. So under the component, I'll give the field name, select type. Component type is land one. So once you enter this detail, press enter. See, it is automatically filled because it is already created by SAP. So when I press enter, these details are automatically filling because it is already existed in the database. So delivery number, city, country. So let's see these three fields details. Save it, check it. The same enhancement category. Whenever I have created database table, we have seen same warning message. So here also we need to provide enhancement category. To provide the enhancement category, click on extras. Here we have an option enhancement category. Click on continue and choose can be like character like or numeric, or else you can create character like. You can click on this option. Maximum will use these first three. Once you are selected, save it, check it. Now no errors. So activate it. So I have activated this one. But this data, like delivery number, city, country, this data won't be saved in the structure. If you see there is no content, as I mentioned, structure cannot hold any data. Just it will create a template. So I have created three fields. So it will be create template like three fields data. So it will be create like three fields data. So it will create an empty row or empty. So structure can hold single record. So it will be create like a three fields data. So three single record, it will be created template. It doesn't store any data physically like this. It will be create like this. Now I need to add in the table. So here I need to add like three fields data. I have to add in the table. So if I want to add in multiple tables, I need to specify this structure name. So to add this structure into any database table, we have two types to add this structure. One is include structure, the other one is append structure. So once you create the structure, we have to add in the table. So that is our requirement. Instead of adding same fields in multiple tables, we are creating a structure. So single time we will create a structure, then we will add in multiple tables. So to add in multiple tables, we have two options. One is include structure, the other one is append structure. Suppose if I want to use include structure, or else let me give a another way. So when we will go for include structure or append structure, we'll see. Suppose you have a custom table and you want to add this structure fields, whatever we have created, this structure fields in a specific position in the table. Like in from second line onwards, these fields should be added, or from third line onwards, these fields should be added in the custom table. Then we can go for include structure. Whenever we want to insert structure in a specified position, then we have to use include structure because include structure can be added at any point in the table or structure. We can insert include structure at any point or at any position in the table. And include structure can be added only in the custom table. As we already know, what is mean by custom table and standard table. Standard tables are nothing but which are created by SAP, like Mara table, VBAK table, VBAP table. So those are the standard tables. We cannot add any structure, like include structure in the standard table. But you have a custom table, then you want to add in the specified position in the table, then we can use include structure. And it is reusable. Reusable meaning I can use this structure in any number of tables. Just I need to specify the name of the structure. I cannot use in any number of tables. So that is nothing but reusability. So this structure can be reusable. And if I want to add this structure in a table, like how many structures we can add into a table? Include structures can be add 9 into a table or structure. Suppose I have created a table. So this is a table. So I will add address details here. Suppose there is a requirement where user want to see different fields. Again, same number of fields using in a different table. So instead of creating in two tables, again I will create a structure. I will add the structure here. So like that, I can add 9 structures within a table or structure. So table or structure meaning we can add include structures within the table, and we can also add structures within the structure itself. So structure can be added in the table, and also structure can be added in the structure itself. So that is also possible. So to add in the table, we have two options, that is include structure and append structure. If you are using custom table, then go for include structure. Include structure can be add anywhere in the table. Suppose if I want to add after creation date, or let me add it here. So just I need to select where I want to add and go to edit. Here we have an option include. Then click on insert. So this is the one way to insert. Let me click on here. So see, it is asking what is the structure name. So which structure I have created? Z address. Just copy this one. Before adding, it must be activated. Otherwise, these details won't be reflected in the table. So I'll go to the table, and here I will specify the structure name. Then click on continue. See, it is added include structure. What is the name here? Dot include. And here, name of the structure is Z address. So in this way, we can include structure into the table. So this is include structure. You can see the name dot include is there. So to add include structure in the table, select it in which position you want to add. Go to edit from the menu bar. We have an option include. Click on insert. This is one way. The other way is you need to write manually. Like what is the name of the include? Suppose I'm going to add include structure. So under the field, you need to write dot include. And here, let me click on data element. So here I will add under the data element. Here I will write the structure name which we have created in S11. So manually we can enter it. Either you can go direct option from the menu bar, or else manually you can write. Under the field, you need to write dot include, and under the data element place, you need to specify the structure name. After giving these two names, press enter. So in this way, we will add include structure. So this is include structure. We have, suppose if you see dot include Z address is there, but I have three fields names here. If you see three fields I have added into this structure, but right now those three names are not visible here. Suppose if I want to see, I can click on, there is a expand all. See, when I click on expand all, these three fields are visible. Whatever I have created in the structure, those are visible now. And if you see, it is gray out. Gray out meaning, suppose if I want to do any changes in this place, like wherever white color is there, if I do something, it is changing. Like if I do backspace, it is deleting. If I write something, it is adding. But right now, I placed cursor at one. I'm going to remove this one, but it is not changing. So whenever you have added a structure into a table, you cannot modify directly. You cannot modify directly the fields which are in structure. So that will be go to display mode, which are gray out. We used to say the word it is in the display mode. Display mode means just we can see, we cannot do any changes into that. So you cannot change any modifications into this structure. Suppose if you modify this structure fields, go to your structure and do the modification here. Suppose if you want to delete, you need to select the field and here minus symbol is there. So it will be delete the row. So it will be delete this field. Suppose if you want to insert new one, you can click on plus. It will be insert next row. Then you can add one more field. So in this way, we can include the structure into a table. Similar way, we have one more structure, that is append structure. So this structure we will be used like whenever we want to add a structure into a database standard database table, then we can use append structure. Suppose you want to add any fields into standard table. So standard tables are nothing but which are created by SAP. Sometimes we might be required to enhance fields in the standard table. At that time, we cannot use include structure because include structure is applicable only for custom tables. But if you want to enhance standard tables, then we can use append structure. So append structure can be used in standard table as well as custom table. And standard table append structure can be add the record at the end of the table. We have seen include structure. Include structure can be add at any position in the table, but append structure will be add the record at the end of the table only. It won't be add in between any fields. It will be add the records or add the structure at the end of the table. And if you create append structure once, that cannot be used in multiple tables. So it is not reusable structure. Append structure is not reusable structure. It is specific to the table. Meaning, if you have created structure in one table, suppose if I have created append structure in this table, within this table only I can able to use. I cannot able to add append structure in another table. So append structure is not reusable. But include structure we can add in any number of tables. Append structure cannot be add or cannot be used in multiple tables. And we can add only one append structure into a table or structure. Meaning, as I told you, include structures, we can add 9 within the same table. Suppose there is a requirement where I need to enhance few more fields. So again, same fields I am using in another table. So instead of creating in two tables, I will create a structure. Again, I will give the structure name here. So like that, I can give 9 structure names by using include structure. But append structure can be used at the end of the table and it will be add only one time. I cannot have multiple append structures within the same table or structure. Suppose if I add append structure, this is end of the table. After append structure, Again, I cannot insert one more field also. If you are using append structure, it will be added at the end of the table, and only one append structure can be added in a table. After append structure, I cannot add in any fields. Suppose, I'll delete this one. Suppose if you see include structure after, this is a white space where I can add one more field. So I can able to add one more field. Suppose if I want to add a field, I can insert it directly with the help of, after include structure. If I want to include any fields, I can able to write. Now I will create append structure, and let's see. So to add include structure, what I did, I went to edit and I used include option. To add append structure, here we have an option append structure. So select the cursor, or if you don't select it, will be go at the end only. So click on append structure. So it is asking before that save, and append name. So we need to give the append name. Whenever we are giving append name, it should be starts with double Z letter. So till now, whenever we have created any custom object, we have used a single Z. But whenever we are using append structure, it must be give two Z letters. So append structure naming convention is double Z. We have to give double Z letters. Always remember, if you are going to add append structure, give double Z letters. And here, suppose double Z, pick up details. So just I have given append structure name. Click on continue. So same, it has opened the structure screen. See, same screen we have seen for the structure. Here, if you see, what is the name of it? Append structure. Suppose here, pick up details I'm going to enter. So same short description, I think, pick up details. And here component, suppose pick up date. Suppose date, I want to give the pickup data. So date, same steps we need to follow. Again, choose the types. And we do have a standard field to create the date, that is ER date. So I don't want to create again same field. So just I'm using the existing one, ER date. Okay. Suppose time, and let me have only one. So once you enter the details, suppose you can take multiple fields and you can add it here. Already you know how to add the field names. Either you can take the as of now you don't know the existing one, so you can create your own fields, custom fields. To save it, once you add all the field names, save it, check it, and enhancement category you can provide. So as of now, I'm ignoring that one. So I have ignored the warning. So that is the reason it is displaying. There is a pop-up. Do you want to see the warnings or not? So if you want to see the warning messages, we can click on yes. But warning messages, we can ignore it. So I'm just ignoring that. I don't want to see the messages. So I clicked on no. And now it is activated. So append structure, just here I have added only one field. You can have multiple fields. Once you did, you can activate the structure, come back. See, at the end, dot append is there, append structure is there. And if you see, after append, all the rows are gray out, meaning these all went to display mode. I cannot able to change. If I want to add any field further, I cannot able to add. So always remember, append structure is going to be added at the end of the table, and we can add only one append structure. I cannot add multiple append structures like dot append, like that I cannot able to add. And after adding append structure, the table will go to the display mode. You cannot insert few more fields after the append structure. But after include structures, you can see I can able to add the fields. But after append structure, I cannot able to add any field. So this is the difference between include structure and append structure. So structure is nothing but collection of fields. Structure doesn't hold any data. Just it will create a template. By using structure, we can add in tables or structure. So to add into the table or structure, we have two options. One is include, the other one is append structure. Based on the requirement, we can use include structure or append structure. Suppose if you want to add structure into the standard table, we can use append structure. Suppose if you want to add into the custom table, we can use include structure. And once you did, you need to activate this. Now my table is activated. Suppose if I click on table entries, see, it has added few more fields, like whatever I have added in the structure, so those details also entered, like ORT01, land 1, and creation date, payment, not this one, these two. And at the end, date also written. And here, by default, I haven't given any value, so it is taken 00. So in this way, we can add structure into a table. Any doubts? Yes. Once you can stop recording the session.